Hi again then guys, and welcome to another top end or straight line build for Forza Horizon 3, and this particular tune isn't necessarily an obvious one. It's for the Corvette C5. So of all of the Corvettes, why buy this one and why tune this one? Surely the newer ones are better. Maybe the C6, the ZR1, or maybe the Horizon edition. Surely this wouldn't be better than those. Well, interestingly, it actually is. At least in some ways. Now, the handling isn't necessarily better than the newer models, but it's far cheaper than many of them, and arguably more importantly, the top speed is, as far as my tuning has found so far at least, the fastest of all of the Corvettes at 275 miles per hour, which is one of the quickest cars in the game. Now, as far as upgrades, some of the stuff is fairly obvious. Of course, as always, I would recommend giving it the best possible engine conversion, which in this case is thankfully the 1500 horsepower V12 option, with of course the twin turbo, all of the parts, etc, etc. I would, as always, recommend all-wheel drive, because it just helps, basically. Some purists or self-proclaimed professionals prefer not to have all-wheel drive. If you don't like it, don't use it. It's as simple as that, but I don't agree with attacking other people for using all-wheel drive, because to me that's petty. But it's down to personal preference. Now, as far as the tune setup, which is of course the way to unlock the potential of those upgrades, there are settings as follows. And just before we get into the settings, as with all of my tune setups, literally all of them that I show on YouTube, you can get all of these tunes in this exact form on my storefront. So if you want to support tuning of HSG, that's great, I appreciate those downloads, but if you want to do it yourself, of course, you can follow this. So, as far as the gearbox, I would recommend a final drive of 3, then individual gears of 2.9, 1.85, 1.4, 1.11, 0.91, and 0.77. Then for the rest, there's plenty of room for variation. I personally like neutral camber and tow. I've got the degree of caster a little lower. If you want to improve the handling, make it a bit looser, again, even more so, you can lower that. It's geared and set up for high-speed stability, so predominantly straight-line performance, so it depends what you need it for, basically. As far as the anti-roll, we've got those on 33 and 19, the springs on 209 and 164, with the lowest possible ride height. As far as dampers, we've got those on 16, 13, 7 and 6, Aero of course doesn't apply, and as always for top speed tunes I would not recommend having the front or rear wing. And as far as the diff, as I've often done, I've gone for 100% on acceleration, 0 on deceleration. You can also go for 100 on decel if you want. That can loosen up the steering a bit more on some vehicles, not as much on others. And as far as the centre split, I've gone for 70%, which is what I'd recommend, giving a good mix of everything. Launch, acceleration, handling, top-end grip, etc, etc. So there's room for variation. Build it as you need it. As with all of my tunes, this is basically a canvas for you to work from. So definite improvements or personal preferences can be made, but this is just the tune that you can work from to get that kind of speed. So if you'd like to keep up with other tunes like this, you can of course follow my storefront to see them literally as soon as they're put up, or follow me here on YouTube to see them in your own way, so that you can change things for yourself. But either way, I hope you find it fun and of course competitive, and that's it for this particular build. So I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.